Hey everyone, it's Warriors NRL Fanatics. Tonight on the YouTube channel, joining me is Josh from Always Brisbane Broncos. We're going to preview the game this week, massive preliminary final with the winner, obviously, to go through the grand final next week and play in Sydney on the Sunday next week. But yeah, both teams have had a bit of a journey to get here this year, actually, and it was a bit of a surprise that both the Warriors and the Broncos are in this position this year, but. Yeah, Josh, it's good to have you on the West Brisbane Broncos. Hope you how you doing, and yeah, it's great to have you on.
Yeah, I'm doing all right, mate. Yeah, look, I'm doing well. It's a bit surreal to be in this position right now, but look, it all comes down to this week, and we'll see how both teams go under the pressure.
Yeah, awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to preview the game, just go through like the key players and matchups, strengths and weaknesses for the teams, and yeah, just go through the team list as well. But um, yeah, what I'll do is actually I'll go through the Warriors line. Actually, no, I'll get Josh to go through the Brisbane Broncos lineup first. It's
Yep.
pretty much unchanged for you guys anyway. But get you to go through the Broncos lineup, and then I'll go through the Warriors lineup.
Yeah. So we are completely unchanged from week one of the finals against Melbourne. So obviously at fullback we got Reece Walsh. On the wings we have Jesse Arthurs and Selwyn Cobbo. In the centres we have Herbie Farnworth and Katoni Staggs. In the halves we have Ezra Mann and Adam Reynolds. The front row we have Big Thomas Flegler and the best front row in the game, Payne Haas. At hooker we have Billy Walters. In the back row we have Kurt Capewell and Jordan Ricky. And at lock we have the best lock in the game, Paddy Carrigan. And on the bench, we have Tyson Smoothie at 14, Kobe Hetherington, who was Brendan P. Cora, and Keenan Palacia. So pretty solid team, big bench. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. So the Warriors lineup, yep, it's pretty much unchanged, just like the Bronx are. So just Chancellor Cooks at fullback. They got Dylan Watini-Zelezniak on the wing, Rocco Berry, and Adam Pompey in the centres with Marcelo Montoya. Tamari Martin, former Bronco, 5'8" there. Sean Johnson, halfback, the Dally M medal winner this year. And Adam Fanua Blake, prop. Wade Egan, the hooker. Mitchell Barnett, the other prop. Jackson Ford in the second row. Murata Niokore and Locke Toa Harris, captain there. Bench reads Dylan Walker, Jazz Tavanga, Bailey Sirenen, and Josh Curran. And the reserves are Freddie Lussick, Tane Tuapiki, Bunty Afoa, Ali Lautoa, and Edward Cozy. So that's the lineups there. So overall, when you look at those team lineups, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts firstly on the Broncos team there that have lined up with and on the Warriors lineup? What are your thoughts there?
I think both teams have named their strongest teams all year. And that's important at this stage of the year. But well, I think either way, both teams they're going into a full strength, so it's going to be tough to they match up very well in almost every position. So well, it's going to be tough. Like the Haas versus Adam Fanua Blake battle, the Toja Harris and Carrigan battle, the SJ and Reynolds, but like it's a game of battles, and yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, and both teams obviously named their strongest lineups, and there was Sean Johnson last week. There was a lot of concerns around Sean Johnson whether he's going to play, but he was always going to play in that Newcastle game. So overall, if you looking back, this is the start of the season. Firstly, what are your thoughts? Just the way you guys been going this year, like you guys have. Do you think you've exceeded expectations, or did you have your Broncos that high up the ladder at the start of the season, or did you guys did you have them just making the eight? What are your thoughts here? Because last year you guys just missed out on the eight.
Yeah.
So
this season I came in with the mentality of not expecting as much as I should, because last year I expected, finish top 8, top 6, because we had that team. But this season with Walsh back, I did expect us to finish in between 4th and 8th. I didn't expect us to potentially win the minor premiership, but the way the season's panned out, man, we've gone to a new intensity after last season. I think it just put another fire in the belly, and now we're levels above, I think, most teams other than Penrith. So it's been a pretty impressive season. I think we probably deserved the minor premiership over Penrith, but well, Kevy wasn't too worried about the minor premiership, and if we make the grand final and potentially win it, I don't think anyone's going to care if we finish first or second at this stage. So, yeah, man, look, I think it's been a very successful season, and like I said, if we don't even get through to the grand final, or if we get to the grand final and lose, I think the season's still a very big success and something to really build on towards next season if we don't get through.
Yeah, and obviously you guys picked up Reece Walsh from the Warriors. Yeah, big.
I mean, he was our first, man. You stole him. All right.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly right. Well, you guys, he wanted to come back home anyway. So, look, I mean,
he's got Tamari Martin, all right.
Yeah,
he's got him. He's a fine with that.
Martin. Yeah, we got CNK as well, so it wasn't a downgrade, but
come on, okay, all right, carry on.
Yeah, but so what about the Warriors? What just on the Warriors? What are your thoughts there on them this season? Because a lot of people, are surprised with the way we've been going. Even as Warriors fans, we're surprised that we're made the top four now. Andrew Webster's first year. What are your thoughts on the Warriors?
Look, I think this weekend is going to tell a lot of what the Warriors are this season. They've had some very impressive wins. Don't get me wrong. And look, I don't think anyone actually expected them to finish top four, let alone even third, or third or fourth, wherever they finish. It's like, I don't know. I didn't watch a lot of Warriors games this year because I didn't really expect them to go well. So it's not something I was interested in watching. So they've definitely impressed. Their forward pack has definitely stepped up this year. Even with the likes of Josh Curran playing off the bench most of the year, that kind of threw me off. And it's kind of worked wonders because now you've got Jackson Ford playing really well. Marata Niokore on the edge as well. He's been playing really well. Adam Fanua-Blake's gone to another level this year. Wade Egan's had an outstanding season, probably hooker of the year. So SJ, obviously, he's the talking point. SJ has been probably the best player all year. He'll probably win Daily M. But look, yeah, I think if Warriors lose this weekend, obviously the season's still a massive success, but I think it shows that they're definitely on a top 8, top 4 level quality team. But if they don't stay in the game for the 80 minutes against Brisbane, I think it's going to show where they're at, because personally, I don't think the Warriors can hang with Brisbane or Penrith for 80 minutes. And I know you guys are missing SJ in that week 1 finals. He's had 14 errors. He's conceded a bunch of points, and I think with the likes of Adam Reynolds, and Reece Walsh, if he's give them that much ball and opportunity, I think they're just going to punish you. So, it's going to be really interesting to see where they're at this week, especially at Suncorp, 52,000 sellout. It's going to be hectic.
Yeah, and on that sold out crowd, it's going to be massive. The Warriors playing in front of the sold out crowd. We've had a few sold out crowds this year, but obviously our stadium's a lot smaller compared to, Suncorp Stadium. But I'm sure the Warriors will get plenty of support. Our supporters have been, going to look here in Australia. Our support base here is incredible. So,
I think your support base is bigger in Australia than it is New Zealand. I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah. So sold out crowd, and it's going to be a big vibe there in Brisbane at Suncorp on Saturday night. But just looking at your team, right? So your team, you guys, your backline especially is a very strong backline. The back five, you got Reece Walsh there, you got Tony Staggs, Herbie Farnworth, Selwyn Cobbo. What are your thoughts there on those guys this season? Because they've been having a great year, and obviously Reece Walsh, he's played Origin this year, played for the Maroons and that, and was a standout. He he wasn't afraid on the big stage. He played some great footy in the Origin series. But what are your thoughts there on your back five? Your back five is very strong, particularly Herbie Farnworth. I'm a real big fan of Herbie Farnworth. He's very good talent. Obviously, you guys are losing him to the Dolphins next year, but just what are your thoughts there?
I personally think we probably got the most athletic backline in the competition. Obviously, you got Selwyn Combo.
Yeah.
Selwyn Combo is going to be a generational freak for the next 10 years. Like, you get him involved early and you're in trouble. Yeah, Katoni Staggs, some early ball, and you're in trouble. So, obviously, Herbie Farnworth gets through a lot of work, running 200 meters a game. He still doesn't know how to pass the ball properly, but he's getting there. But I especially with like Reece Walsh, man, like I don't think there's a way to defend Reece Walsh. Like I know the Warriors shut down KP last week, but the forward pack of the Knights didn't give him anything to play off of. So look, the Reece Walsh, if you give him room and if he just stays patient and just keeps him level-headed and he just gets through the game, doesn't force anything, he'll rip you apart eventually. It's only a matter of time. He did it to Melbourne in week 1. The first half was a bit quiet, but he just got through the hard yards, ran the ball, and then second half he just exploded and ripped them to shreds. So if our boys can get out from the back, Jesse Arthurs has been really solid all year. With Corey Oates being injured pretty much practically all year. So look, if our boys can get out from our own end with our forward pack smashing through the middle, I can't see a way where we can lose unless we just continuously just drop the ball all game. So our back line will have a big play in the game, and the Warriors centers have got to be on. Rocco Berry and who's your other center again?
Adam
Pompey.
Yeah.
They've got to defend the best game of their life this weekend, because if they can't contain Herbie and Katoni Staggs, they're in some trouble.
Yeah, and just also, you got Billy Walters there. What are your thoughts on Billy Walters? Because he's having a good season as well for you guys. Not someone a lot of NRL fans would rate really highly, but what are your thoughts here on Billy Walters? He's coming up against Wade Egan. Yeah, so two underrated, maybe two underrated players this year.
Yeah, look, Billy's had a really look. I think at the start of the season, I wasn't really feeling how he was playing, but as the season progressed, he's only gotten better. Like, I know he's not your stereotypical hooker. He's gonna give you a lot of great service. He's gonna scoot out dummy half every now and then, but he gets through a lot of work. He tries hard. He just gets through all the hard stuff. He'll kick a 40-20 here or there. He'll kick on third, get it and go. Like, him being a former 5'8" / half, he's got a lot of unique talents, especially his kicking game out of dummy half, and he likes to run a bit, he likes to dummy a bit, he scoots a bit, so he's got a bit to his game. But look, I've been impressed with him the last since probably round 18 onwards. He's really shown that he can do something in this competition. And Tyson Smoothy, he's come through a bit. His first few games for Brisbane, he looked pretty terrible. He didn't look like he fit in the system. But again, the more games he's played, the better he's performed. So, and just on Wade Egan too, he's been really, really good this year. He reminds me of a younger Danny Levi. I don't like the way they play is very similar. It freaks me out. But he's very quick. He got great service. He's kind of like Damien Cook. I don't think he's as quick as Damien Cook, but he gets through the hard stuff and he doesn't shy away from the action in the middle.
Yeah, and then you got your forwards. Obviously, they got Payne Haas there, he's a workhorse, Payne Haas, and there's going to be a massive battle between him and Adam Fanua-Blake. That's the biggest talking point of the forwards is that battle, because those two haven't come up against each other this year, so that'll be a real interest in that one. Yeah, Payne Haas and AFB.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, and then Jordan Ricky. I thought Jordan Ricky's actually been on the improve this year. His past couple of years hasn't been, as consistent as you'd like. But what are your thoughts there? Jordan Ricky has actually been, a lot more, consistent in his performances.
I think Jordan Ricky this year. I think it's been a standout year for Jordan Ricky.
Yeah.
Attack wise, he's still not the best. He doesn't run the best of lines, but he's only gotten better, especially after last season. I thought it was pretty fucking shit last season. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I thought Piacora would push his spot and probably take it by like halfway through the year, but Ricky's he's fought hard for that spot, and if anyone's going to lose their spot in the next few years, it's going to be Kurt Capewell, not Jordan Ricky. Jordan Ricky's kick chase is second to none. If Reynolds is kicking the ball on that side, you best know Jordan Ricky's the first one there. So his defense and his attack is improved a lot this season. So I've been impressed with Jordan Ricky this year.
Yeah, and Patrick Carrigan, what a player he is. Just what are your thoughts here on his season, Patrick Carrigan?
I think Patrick Carrigan this season has solidified himself as the best lock in the game at the moment.
Yeah.
The amount of work that man gets through is outrageous. Like, he'll play 80 minutes every game if he wanted to, or if Kevy wanted him to. And I'm astounded at how much he's grown in the last 2 years. I've lost for words how he plays, man. Like, I'm so glad he got his first try. Honestly, if he hadn't scored a try this year, it would have been tragic. So look, him up against Tohu, I think it's where Tohu Harris is in his career is where Carrigan will be. So, Carrigan's like a younger Tohu, but I think Carrigan's just blossomed a lot earlier than what Tohu did. So, very good matchup. We'll see how they go.
Yeah, so just looking into now the just key players, like key matchups on the field. Which ones that to you like stand out on the field in regards to each player position wise?
I think the main three is Reynolds, SJ. Obviously, that's a massive talking point in the game. You got Payne Haas and Adam Fanua-Blake. That's another massive talking point. And I got to put these other two, like Chance and Reece Walsh is another really good matchup. But again, Carrigan and Tohu is probably the other one there too. But the rest of it's all kind of even. But I think our centers are going to be really key to this game.
Yeah, and my key matchups, I'm looking at the likes of Walsh, Reece Walsh up against Chancellor Cookstad. I think it's going to be a real exciting matchup there between those two players. And, obviously Reece Walsh has got the youth and the pace. And, obviously the Warriors are going to have to mark up on very well, especially. But, we can't just mark up on one player. You guys have got strengths across the field. So we can't rely on just marking up Reece Walsh and just shutting him down, thinking he's going to be the reason, because you've got key players across the whole field. So
that's I think that's the most dangerous thing about the Broncos this season. If you try and shut one player down, we can score a try from 80 meters out, just like that. So I think our ability to score points from anywhere on the field, no matter how far out, what tackle it is, we can just score points anywhere.
Yeah, and the 4-pack battle, obviously, AFB and Payne Haas, we've already mentioned it quite a bit here. Yes, that battle especially. I feel like, the forwards for the Warriors really, I think that's the key for the Warriors is the 4-pack.
Agree,
I think
100%.
the Warriors forwards need to stand up against the Broncos forwards, as well as, stopping Payne Haas and,
The game plan for the Warriors will be trying to slow down that Broncos forward pack to start that game. If they don't come out and if Payne Haas, Carrigan, and Flegler come out and absolutely batter your forward pack, it's going to be really hard for you to come back. So you've got to get on top real early. You got to force errors, and you've just got to make your tackles, because Lord help you if Payne Haas, Carrigan, and Flegler, if they're all firing and you're making errors, it's going to be danger territory. I'm telling you that. If you play like you did against the Knights against us, is definitely a good chance. But if we come out and do what you did to Newcastle against you blokes, I don't think I'd give you a chance.
Yeah, and it's the betting prices don't give the Warriors a chance here either. So, via sports
Oh,
bet,
yeah.
yeah, but which is no surprise. I'm not shocked, to be honest, that on this one. But the Broncos are $1.26 favourites. The New Zealand Warriors are $3.90 Yeah, so overall, I personally think it's fair. Yeah, I can't really argue about it, to be honest.
Considering it's
But
in Brisbane with 52,000 people, mainly Queenslanders, it's going to be a tough ask.
yeah, so just looking into the stats, head-to-head stats actually, and played 42 times actually since 1998 for these two sides. So the Broncos have actually won 21, the Warriors have won 20. So it's quite tight.
Okay.
Very close in the head-to-head there. There's been one draw as well, and the previous
I
game
remember
this
that.
year, the previous game this year, there's actually been one meeting already this year, and that was back in New Zealand in Napier. It was a pretty understrength Warriors side, I'm not going to lie.
Hey, we were understrength too. Let's not forget that's Origin period. We were very
Yeah, yeah.
understrength as
Well,
well.
both teams are really understrength in this game, but you guys got away with it. You guys won 26-22, but you guys had a very strong first half, and it looked like we were coming back in that second half. But you remember that game?
I remember bits of the game.
Yeah,
I remember like the most important thing was the win. Obviously, like
yeah,
I don't think I tipped us that week. Like I don't, I don't think anyone expected us to beat the Warriors in New Zealand. Like you had a few out, you had a fair few out as well, but especially going over there during Origin period without most of our players, I think it was one of our most impressive wins all year.
yeah. And yeah, just a comment here. Ryan saying, if I remember correctly, that the Broncos were 6-point underdogs,
Yeah,
which is
I'm
really
not shocked on
interesting.
that.
Yeah, but just comparing the stats between both teams. So the Broncos have scored 617 points this season compared to the Warriors 562. So then the points considered, you guys are considered 393, the Warriors 414. Completion rate 77% to the Broncos, Warriors 78. So really not much in it. Average points scored, the Broncos 26, Warriors 18. Average play the ball speed. So at 3.55 Broncos to the Warriors 3.54 seconds there. So what are your thoughts just generally on those stats? Because you guys could score a lot of points.
Yeah,
you've got
I read
attacking
it.
players from everywhere. So yeah,
I heard a stat on Bloke in a Bar. I think yesterday it was.
yeah,
That Broncos nearly broke the record for most games in a row scoring 5 tries or more.
yeah.
Now,
Well,
I think it was seven games in a row we scored 5 tries or more. The record was 9, and Melbourne broke that in the last round against us. So, I think we're definitely the best attacking team in the competition.
yep.
But our defense is definitely second to none as well. Like Penrith's defense is obviously top tier defense, but I think we're not that far behind, especially just our scramble defense and everything like that. Um, Obviously, like I've said earlier, and you just said, we can literally score points from anywhere on the field. So, I think the surprising thing there for me was completion rate. I didn't expect our completion rate to be that good this year, to be honest. I remember a lot of games where we've had a lot of errors, and the Warriors are
Yeah,
well known for their completion rate. So and the average play to ball speed used a bit quicker than us. I thought our play to ball speed was one of the best this year. So that's a bit surprising. If the Warriors forward pack can get off the ground and play the ball pretty quickly, they can put us in some trouble.
yeah. So just on that, are you the likes of Reece Walsh? He loves to play an attacking brand of footy. He likes he doesn't look mess around. He likes to throw the ball around, and
Yeah.
just are you any concerns that around with regards to the likes of Reece Walsh and that maybe making a few errors in this game, and the Warriors could possibly from off or
Yeah,
what do you reckon there?
there is concerns there, obviously, because obviously
Yeah,
Walsh likes to get really attacking and likes to try and score every play. But I'm hoping he's mature enough he's a very big game player. He loves the big games. He's performed in every big game this year so far, including Origin. So, well, I'm hoping it doesn't go to his head and he tries to score off every play. He just needs to build into the game, and he just needs to run the ball as much as possible and then once they start jamming in, he'll be able to cause some damage, hit a step, throw a dummy, pass it out the back. He just has to play the perfect game, and he has to play it smart. Because if he goes too early, he's going to get caught out. He's going to make some errors, and it's just going to cost us. And another person that concerns me is Selwyn Cobbo as well. Under the high ball against Melbourne, he was very shaky. He didn't look like he was catching shit. So Montoya's up against Cobbo, if I'm not mistaken, and Montoya likes to get up a bit. So that might be something the Wires are going to target definitely on that side, because Cobbo can get caught out as well. So if Cobbo can if our backline can keep the errors minimum, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, and just on that now, just keys to victory for both the Broncos and the Warriors. So the Wires. So for you, what are the keys to winning the game for you for the Broncos? And what do you reckon in regards to the Warriors as well?
Well, I actually said this to you last week, I think, before the Knights Warriors earlier in the week.
Yeah.
I think every game that the Broncos play or the Wires play, it's always going to be whoever can win the middle is going to win the game. I think that's still the case. Whoever can control the middle is going to win the game. But I think the Broncos' key is defending the Warriors' right side with Tenenza Lesniak. Is it Rocco? I think it's Rocco Berry next to him, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and SJ on that side as well. If we can shut down that side, I think it's going to go a long way to winning the game, because that's your best attacking side, in my opinion. So if we can shut down that side, and if our centers can get on early, especially Katoni, because it takes a bit for him to switch on, it'll go a long way to winning the game. But obviously, if our middle with Carrigan, Flegler, and Haas start fast, and then we bring on Kobe Hetherington, Palacia, I think we'll be in a really good position to win the game.
Yep. And what about for the Warriors? What do you reckon in terms of an opposition? What do you think is the keys for them, and if they're to get an upset over the Broncos at Suncorp?
Well, the case I think it's almost the same principle for the Warriors. I think they've got to definitely win the middle. If the Warriors don't win the middle, they can't win the game, in my opinion. SJ can play as good as he wants, but if their forward pack isn't going forward, I can't see them winning. Again, their backline needs minimal errors. I know Tennis Lesniak's been one of the best wingers in the competition this year. Montoya's good, but I think Cobbo's got a little bit of speed on him, so you got to be careful down that edge. But I think your forward pack and your centers are your keys to winning this game. If your centers don't defend well, I think you're done. It's a tough ask. I know that two of the best centers in the game. And like Ryan just said there, big kick chase. Like, you just need to put as much pressure on our backs as possible, because Jesse Arthur, he's as solid as they come under the high ball. I don't think he's dropped one all year. He might have dropped one or two. I might have just jinxed him, by the way. Cobbo, he's not very good under the high ball at the moment. So if you can get in our faces and just get in our heads, I think you can definitely win the game.
Yeah, and I mentioned this one last night, actually, with a few Warriors content creators. We had a talk about this game this week, and I mentioned that the battle for me needs to be won in the 4-pack, because with the likes of you guys with the likes of Payne Haas and Paddy Carrigan, and our pack with AFB, Harris, Niokore, and Ford, they all need to step up and have massive games. And what we got to do is we got to limit the Broncos' opportunities. We've got to kick to corners. Try and force an error, because you guys, obviously, you guys, are a team that love to play attacking brand of footy, and I feel like we need to try and put some pressure on you guys, especially, and also Adam Reynolds. I didn't mention Adam Reynolds. Adam Reynolds is the key. A lot of people talk about Reece Walsh for you guys, and your 4-pack. With Paddy Carrigan and that, but Adam Reynolds, obviously he's had some injury concerns this year, hasn't he? He's had some injury worries. Are you concerned by the fact that he's had some injuries this year, or
Not really. Like, obviously,
Yeah,
he's played one game in the last about 6 weeks or so, but
yeah,
obviously he's still training and he's keeping his fitness up. Um, I think, like you said, Adam Reynolds is the key, but with Adam Reynolds, he's been here. He's done
yeah,
everything he can in finals footy. He's won a grand final. He's been a plenty of prelims at South. Let's be real. Lost the grand final 2 years ago against Penrith. So, look, I think I'm not too worried about Adam Reynolds at this stage, considering I know what I'm getting from Adam Reynolds every week. Like, I don't think he's really had a bad game this season or a very average game. So
mm,
I'm not too worried about him because, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get great kicking game. He's going to make his tackles and he's going to lead the team around. It's just all the other young fellas that haven't been here yet, and they need to shine in the light, especially Ezra Mann. Like, he's
yeah.
still limping on that knee. He's still got a pretty bad knee at the moment. So if Ezra Mann can get involved in this game, it's going to be a really tough game for him. Especially if the Warriors target him, because I'm pretty sure he's still on one knee.
Yeah, and I think the kick chase on Adam Reynolds as well, from us is going to be real
Oh, the
important as
kick
well.
pressure, yeah.
Yeah,
You
just that kick pressure.
need to get in his face, because if you give him time, he's going to put up some spirally Andrew Johns looking torpy, and no one's going to be able to catch it.
No, and our wingers and that, they're going to have to be on song as well and watch out for that because, it's going to be difficult, obviously. But, yeah, just the kicking game of Adam Reynolds, that's the thing that will worry me in this game is, how he goes. And obviously, he's been in a lot of big games and, he's been in Origins, been in grand finals. So,
I'd say
he knows.
him and Tohu Harris are the two most experienced players in this game, and they're two of the biggest players in this game.
Yeah, and Harris has been to a lot of big games as well. Tohu Harris with Melbourne and that. So, experienced players. Those you're looking at those experienced players like Harris and Reynolds. For your respective sides as well. So, they're going to be the keys in this one.
Yeah.
But just on that, also saying that they're limiting the opportunities. The likes of Reece Walsh and Herbie Farm with his Stags as well. I think also with the hooker battle, I don't know if you probably might disagree with me on this one, but I personally look at the hooker battle between Walters and Wade Egan. I kind of feel, for me, this is a personal opinion, but I feel like Wade Egan's probably got the edge over Walters in that battle.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I can't disagree with that. I 100% agree with you there. But as good as Wade Egan is, I don't think he's going to outmatch. Like, Wade Egan's got more class, he's got more ability, but I don't think he's going to be on the same level of effort as Billy. Like, I think that's his downside at times, Billy. He tries too hard. So if Billy's effort's there, he'll definitely be in the contest with Wade.
Yeah, and I mean, I think not underestimating your hooker there as well. I feel like he's had a good season for you guys, but I don't know, just personal opinion, just feel like Wadey's probably been.
And we've still got a genuine 9 on the 14 roll. I don't know how many minutes Tyson Smoothie will get, but if Billy's not playing too well, I don't think Kevy's going to hesitate to hook him and put on a genuine 9 in Tyson Smoothie, who's. I think his service is a bit better than Walters, but I don't think his effort is as good.
Yeah, and what do you reckon on your bench? You got your bench, and you reckon our bench?
Oh, mate.
Yeah,
I think our bench outweighs yours by a bit. I think Kobe Hetherington next season, I think he might take Flegler's spot because he has been outstanding, especially against Melbourne in that first week of finals. Keenan Palacia and Kobe Hetherington, they come on and they ripped Melbourne's bench to shreds. Or they ripped their middles to shreds. Kobe Hetherington's one of the hardest ball running front rowers I've seen in Brisbane for a long time. He just doesn't care, get through all the hard yards. And Keenan Palacia is someone I haven't really, I haven't seen a lot from him. Like, I haven't rated him as highly as a lot of people have. Especially when he came through, he was a back rower. And he looked a bit overweight to be a back rower, so he moved to the middle. He didn't perform well, but again, like Walters, as the year's gone on, he's only gotten better, and it's like that because of course he's leaving the club. Like of course, like Herbie has his best year and he's leaving the club. Flegler has his best year leaving the club. Palasia's had a standout year leaving the club. So look, I think our bench and Brendan Pecora, if he does get an opportunity, he's going to make his tackles. He's got a great line. He's got a better line than Ricky. So we'll see what happens if he does get on the field. But our bench does a very solid job when they come on. You don't really notice too much of a difference anymore when Haas and Carrigan come off or Flegler comes off and you bring on Hetherington and Palacia. They do the job.
Yeah. Your bench is, I think it's a very good bench. We've got a good bench as well with Walker, Dylan Walker there, and Jazz Savung has been. I think I don't know what happened last week, but yeah, he didn't get a lot of minutes, and I think he was carrying a little bit of a niggle injury as well. So he's had a few injuries this year, and he got Bailey Sheeran, and I thought Bailey Sheeran last week against Newcastle probably came off and played his best game. I don't think he's played his best game off the bench last week against Newcastle. And then you got Josh Curran as well, who's always very solid and rock solid for us as well. So yeah, look, I think both teams' benches are great. I don't think anyone has the edge over anyone on the bench. I actually think it's pretty split, personally. That's just what I believe. But yeah, just now, anything more you'd like to add just before we get on to like the predictions for any time try score and a score prediction for this game? What do you reckon like this week?
My score prediction.
Yeah.
My score prediction. Anytime try scorers. I think I'm definitely going Katoni Staggs this week.
Yep.
Katoni Staggs anytime, and my score prediction is going to be 25-18. I reckon Reynolds kicks a field goal with about 6 or 7 to go, and we take a 7-point lead. And I think that'll be all she wrote.
Yeah, well, yeah. Look, obviously, I'm going to back my boys in here. I know how difficult it's going to be. It's it's going to be a tough one. Look, I feel like regardless of the result on Saturday, I just feel like it's been a real good season for us. For me, I just feel like it's exceeded expectations because I didn't have high expectations going into this year. So, like I said to a lot of Warriors fans, that this year's been a success regardless of the result on Saturday against you guys. So,
yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to back my boys in here. I've got to back my team in. So, I'll go with the Warriors to win this one. I'm actually going to go with a close one too. I reckon it'll be a close one. And I feel like there's going to be a 1 point in this game. Yeah, so I'm going to go Warriors 21-20. 21-20. And I'm going to go with a Sean Johnson field goal.
Oh, fuck.
Sean Johnson field goal, yeah.
I don't think you'll ever see his face again if we lose by a fucking point. If we lose by a point, you won't ever see me again.
Yeah, you'd be heartbroken. Yeah,
mate.
Yeah, I'd feel the same way. Like if we lost by 1 point as well. Like even if I'm saying that's the result, in regards to the result. But yeah, I'd be heartbroken as well. So yeah, I just feel like we're going to win 21-20. I think it'll be close. I just feel like it'll be, the Warriors will be real competitive in this game, and obviously the start's going to be important. I feel like the start's going to be quite crucial. The first 20 minutes, if the Warriors can hang with the Broncos, then the Warriors, who knows, the second half, maybe they can, at least go over and sneak over and get the win. And I've got them sneaking over in this one, actually. So, yeah, in terms of anytime try scorers, for me, I'm probably going to say, I'll go Dallin. Yeah, Dallin Watini-Zelezniak. He's had a habit of scoring tries for us this year. He didn't play as many games in this year, got to remember, but he was right up in the try scorers list as well. When he started the season, had an injury. He was dropped. He played reserve grade as well. He played New South Wales Cup for it, and then came back into it. Since then, his form has been incredible. And yeah, so Dallin for me to score a try. I'll go Marcelo Montoya. I feel like Marcelo Montoya may score a try, so I'm going to go with him. For you
reckon
guys,
both wingers? You reckon both wingers are going to score?
Both
Interesting.
Wingers, And for you guys, I'm going to go Tony here, Tony Staggs. And I also feel like Payne Haas probably scored a try in this game.
No,
I just
it's
have
an
this weird
omen,
feeling.
It's an omen.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah,
talking about how many tries AFB has scored this year. Watch Payne Haas take that personally. He'll go over and score a try.
yeah. And just going through the comments here, see what everyone's predicting. So I've got here.
Well, let's do our man of the match. Who do you think man of the match is going to be?
Yeah, man of the match.
If the Warriors want to win, I think it has to be SJ. I think it has to be. And as Ryan said, it's hard to go past Walsh, but I definitely think Carrigan and Reynolds are definitely other key factors, and they could probably get man of the match as well. But I think I'm going to go Adam Reynolds for man of the match.
Yeah, for the Warriors, if we win, I'm going to say Sean Johnson. Yeah, I can't go past Sean Johnson. Like I said, if he gets the winning field goal, then I've got to back him in there. So Sean Johnson there. I feel like obviously he's going to play a big part in the game for the Warriors. And if it was the Broncos winning, I'll probably say I'll go Reece Walsh. Yeah, Reece Walsh against his former side, which I hope not. I hope he doesn't play great against us at all. I hope he has a shocker, to be completely honest. I really do. I hope he doesn't have a great game. But, look, the Warriors obviously make sure he doesn't have a great game at all. So, and on the whole Broncos side. So, yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. In terms of the prediction, I've got 21-20 to the Warriors. What did you say?
25-18.
25-18. So, awesome stuff there. So, just like to thank everyone for tuning in, watching. I've got Nick here, great preview, lads. Cheers, Nick. Cheers to Ryan as well, and to the others who have tuned in and watched. But, thanks, Josh, for coming on. Thanks for coming on. Always Brisbane Broncos. We'll be seeing you at the game on Saturday because I'll be going. I'll be attending.
I actually won't be going.
You're not going?
No, Nick is going, but I am not. I have to work.
Oh, right.
Well, maybe we'll see what happens now, but we'll see. I'll probably might be at the grand final. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Anytime.
Bring on the game. All the best. May the best team win on Saturday night. Up the Wars, go the Mighty Warriors.
Up the Bras.
Yeah, but cheers everyone. Have a good rest of the night and rest of the day, and have a good rest of the week as well. And bring on the game on Saturday.
See you, lads.
See ya.